The Eastern Conference semifinal matchup between the Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers is now set. That series will begin Sunday as the Pacers finally take down the Milwaukee Bucks. But there are plenty of storylines in this series not being talked about, kind of because the Pacers are in their own mix of drama right now, kind of because the Cavs thralled the Heat. We're going to jump into that. We're going to jump into Tyrese Haliburton, the star of the Indiana Pacers, what he brings to this matchup. A clip from the Bill Simmons podcast talking about what the Cavs may need to watch for in this series. And I think it actually goes to show how lost people still are on the Cavaliers. But, of course, you can leave your comments on that, thoughts on that. Channel hit 2,000 subscribers, and now we're in the playoffs. I love it. Let's grow. Let's get it going. Playoffs is the perfect time to grow this channel, get more out of everybody. So if you're not subscribed, whether you've watched one video, 100 videos, whether you like my videos, whether you like Matt's videos as he's jumped into the channel, doesn't matter to me. Let's make it happen. Let's just keep this thing going as the Cavaliers are on one heck of a run. We appreciate you jumping on and joining us. So be sure to subscribe. Videos like this, be sure to comment. So the Cavaliers catch the Indiana Pacers in round 2. If you remember, I was predicting Boston's side of the bracket for the Cavaliers, so I'm actually pretty happy that they catch Miami and then Indiana. Especially Indiana, while they won in 5 games, they went through it with the Milwaukee Bucks. That was a fun series to watch. It was tough. It was physical at times. I don't want to say the whole time. Pacers are a running gun team. They're a fast team. The Bucks try to do that, but they're out of weapons over there to keep shooting. So I'm not going to get into the Bucks stuff. All I'm going to say about the Milwaukee situation, Giannis situation, I hope it distracts Indiana for game 1 and 2. Cleveland jump on their throats right away. They're going to have a weird week. This is going to get talked about probably Thursday, Friday. The league might even do something with Tyrese Haliburton's dad. So that's where I'm at with that situation. So first thing I want to talk about before we get to the Bill Simmons podcast clip is that was a great first round. It's what I wanted for the Cavaliers, an easy opponent, a warm-up opponent, a win 4 or 5 games and move on opponent. And I think, and I'm guilty of this as anyone, nobody is talking about the jump up, the level up in talent, player by player for the Pacers and as a whole. To go from Miami, which was a terrible offense, one of the worst offenses I've ever seen the Cavs play in the playoffs, and that includes the Andre Drummond-led Pistons back in the day. Hard watch, and the Pacers are a step above. You look at the offense against the Milwaukee Bucks, near the 120s every single game, if not over, and you have to respect the fact that they kept Giannis under control, won road games, and played really, really well against the Bucks, who are, missing some pieces, struggling through some things, absolutely. But the Pacers the Bucks are still a championship leftover team. They're a good team. They're not an easy win. So to take them down in 5, I think this sets the Cavaliers up for a great matchup. Rick Carlisle's a great coach. This is a very good coach. He was in Dallas. He was in Indiana the first time. He was in Dallas for years, and then he is once again, kind of finding his way in Indiana. Last year, I was shook when they upset the Knicks to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. If you don't remember, if you just have recency bias, Celtics Finals, blah, 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 that team went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. The Indiana Pacers were one of 4 teams left last year, and they stunned the Knicks just like they are hoping to stun the Cavaliers as this series takes off on Sunday. The schedule announced, the time's not announced. You get 1 day off in between, 2 days off, then 1 day off. It's perfect. This is the perfect schedule. Again, this is a level up, right? This is a way better team than the Miami Heat. Offensively, absolutely. Defensively, Indiana has some woes, but running gun teams tend to have that on defense, but they'll just try and blow you out of the water. I mean, we're talking about Miami, going back to Miami, Cavs fans, people in the chat, people that follow, Miami can't do this. Not against us. I don't think against anyone if they played a 4-5 game series. 117, 123, 101, 129, and 119. They couldn't do it. I don't think Miami could even get close to 120. And maybe I think one of the games they had 112 or something like that against the Cavs, and that was like this weird stretch that we never saw again. And the biggest thing for the Cavaliers is they got better game by game. But Indiana is a step-up team. I don't know how anyone would grade the Heat. I don't know how anyone would grade the Pacers. I'd be interested for people's thoughts down in the comments. For me personally, Miami is a C-plus team and Indiana is a B-plus team. So you're leveling up that much in your opponent. The next would be Tyrese Haliburton. You are facing a star, an all-star, a face of the franchise, a good player, a run-the-offense player, a guy that will make a difference, and as you saw against Milwaukee, a guy that will take over and kill you if you don't put him away, right? Stealing the ball, knocking down threes, game-winning layups. I mean, this is a baller, and we're going to watch a quick clip from the Bill Simmons podcast talking about what Haliburton is doing right now and how Cleveland's going to have to adjust and how Cleveland's going to handle it, and if they can adjust, if they can handle it.
Meant for these little 8-9 minute stretches, that's it. Some top end, not that much, but I think when we go to this next round, and I continue to think that they have a real chance against Cleveland to at least take it 6 or 7 and throw some punches at them. But this Haliburton piece, when he realizes he can get to the rim, who's stopping him on Cleveland? Like, this is a good matchup for him. They don't really have like a good defender to throw at him. I don't know. I just think they can hang in this series.
They're going to score points. I think the front line of the Cavs will have something to say between Mobley and Allen. And, I like, DeAndre Hunter. I like, Ty Jerome obviously deserves some credit. But I think, can we do a little bit more on Milwaukee?
So a couple things about that clip right there for Bill Simmons and Kirk Goldsberry. And Kirk Goldsberry is a great writer and numbers guy in the NBA. So, even if you don't like Simmons and don't take him seriously, you should take Goldsberry and what he talks about seriously. That Haliburton defense they talked about, how to guard Tyrese Haliburton, I think the Cavs have the weapons to do it. And as Goldsberry said, you've got Mitchell, you've got Garland that I think could do some things against him, and then you've got Mobley and you've got Allen. You can shut down a star. They shut down a team against the Miami Heat. Now it's their time to step up and shut down a star. Yes, Okoro's going to get involved. Hunter's going to get involved. They may even put Strus on him at times. But shutting down Haliburton's the key. There's a lot that's going to go on there, a lot that's going to change there. We haven't talked about it much yet just because we just got the Pacers. But everybody, I think, soon is going to be talking about how to shut down Haliburton, and I think it's going to be easy. No one's going to talk about how easy it will be for the Cavaliers. Even they may see them after the Miami series as an offensive team. I think they're a defensive team that could shut them down. And as I said, the other thing, this is just a talented group in the Pacers. Need to acknowledge how good they are. Nembhard, Nesmith, Turner, Haliburton, McConnell even. These are good NBA players and great NBA players in the playoffs. It's going to be a great series. These are things we need to talk about more and need to discuss, and we will here on Cavs Digest when you subscribe.